Hi everyone, I'm Simon and welcome to ColdWaterTanks. In this video I'll be introducing the two first creatures in my new 1000 liter or 264 gallon Norwegian native cold water tank. You'll also get to see some cool underwater footage from the ocean here in Norway. The fish you see swimming outside this trap are juvenile coalfish. As I teased in my previous video of setting up this tank, I've already added the first creatures. I can now reveal that the first inhabitants are a couple of smaller Norway king crabs, also called troll crabs or northern stone crab. I also tried adding a couple of shots from inside the tank here. Though I've seen these in public aquariums here in Norway, I'm pretty sure these have not been kept in many private aquariums before. Both of these beauties were entangled in my fish nets, and they're just the right size for the tank, at least for now. The biggest males can grow to a size about 15 centimeters, shell size, but I don't usually see them that big. I attached my GoPro to the inside of a little trap to see if I could get some cool footage. I stored the crabs in here for a few days too, while I got the tank set up. I'm quite happy with this footage, so I think I'll try making some more videos like this, and maybe I'll bait the trap and see what goes in. The only issue though is how long the battery would last on my GoPro, as it's quite cold in the water here, so... These look very similar to the regular king crabs that they fish on the Discovery show, Deadliest Catch, for anyone who's seen that one. Actually, one of the captains there, Sig Hansen, recently went to Norway after they closed the king crab fisheries in the US in 2021, supposedly to try to establish a fishery for this particular species of crabs. I have no idea how that went, to be honest, but I do have my doubts. I think the reason there is no commercial fishing going on for these already is that there's just not too many of them at any given place. They seem to be scattered out more than other crabs. If they did manage to establish a fishery though, it would become popular, I think, as the meat is really delicious. I've added about 5 minutes of footage of this at the end of the video, if you want to see the whole thing. The difference between these and the regular king crabs is that the troll crabs are smaller, and they have harder shells. The best way to tell them apart is that the troll crab has a Y-shaped rostrum, like the tip of its nose, while the king crab just has a single spike there. These are actually not true crabs, but a kind of decapod crustaceans, like hermit crabs or squat lobsters and porcelain crabs. Like with many other crabs, you can tell the males and the females apart by the width of the flap on its underside. Wide flap is female, while thin or narrow flap is male. Here they're waiting to be added to the tank. I get adult ones of these in my nets basically every day while I'm net fishing. They can be found on all kinds of bottoms, both soft and hard, and can be found from like 10 to 1,000 meters depth. I usually get mine at depths from between 20 and 100 meters. They can be a hassle getting out of the nets, so I'm usually not very happy when I see them, to be honest. Here we have an old male crab. Because it's not a commercially valuable species, not so much is known about this crab, but it's believed it spawns every 2 years. Here's a bigger female crab that turned out to have eggs, and the eggs are bigger and fewer than other related species, which might also be a reason why they're not as plentiful as many other crab species. I just put them in a tank when I filmed this, and they were for sure a bit confused at first. They turned out to be great climbers, as you can see in the little guy climbing the walls in the back there. It only took 2 days before a little disaster struck, at least from my back. Coming down to the basement to this site was a crap feeling. Almost all the water was out of the tank because a hose from one of the pumps had somehow slipped out, so all the water had been pumped out on the floor. I'm really happy that this happened in my basement though, and not my living room. The floor down there is concrete and there's drains, so there was no water on the floor at least. I'm starting to get the water back here. I was back up and running after a couple of days. I did notice before the accident that when the lights were on, both crabs hid at the back of the tank, where the lights were at its lowest intensity. And this sort of makes sense though, as it's not too much light at the depths where these are usually at. So I tried putting some cloth between the tank and the lights, which made the light much more dim. This resulted in the crabs coming out in the open much more, and they don't seem too bothered by the light anymore. I was a bit worried that the low light would make the videos grainy and of low quality, but I think it's not that bad. At least it's much better than I feared. Since this low lighting isn't making filming too much of an issue, I've decided to try a deep water habitat in this tank. The main challenge then though will be to get the livestock. But I do have some ideas on how to catch some, and also what to put in there. I'll try to make some videos from that eventually. This is going to take some time though, probably. In any case, I think these crabs are a great first addition to the tank, and I can't wait to observe their behaviors in there. By the way, if you liked this video and want to see what will be next in here, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I think there will be some exciting things coming for this tank. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and want to help out the channel, please hit the like button. If you want more cold water content, you can also find me on Instagram, Twitter and Reddit. You can find the links for that in the video description. And as always, please leave a comment if you have any kind of feedback, questions or suggestions, or just let me know what you think about the crabbies or the video. It's all very much appreciated. I'll finish this off with all the underwater footage I have with these crabs. So until next time, thanks for watching.